Well, hello, Internet. I've decided to make videos. Some of you have been telling me to make videos for a long time, and, well, I have been filming, but I haven't been doing anything with it because I've been busy on, well, honestly, just a bunch of stuff. I took a look around the garage tonight, and I realized just how much stuff is going on, and I thought, you know what, let's just jump in where we are. So, first video, don't be too harsh on me, or do, I don't know, it all helps, right? So, yeah. Anyway, I was looking around here tonight and realized just how crazy it's getting. I mean, I'm leaning right now on a 2009 Yamaha R6. Basically, the story on that is that I bought it from a guy who drove it for 2 weeks and then parked it for a year and had no idea what was going wrong with it when he parked it. And then come to find out, half of the gaskets are leaking, including the head gasket, valve cover gasket, crankcase gaskets like the clutch cover, the stator cover. So I think he overheated it just a little bit, just a smidge. And I've currently got it torn down to the valve cover being off, which on a motorcycle is a lot of work. Your hands actually have to be microscopic to get into anywhere on a motorcycle. Currently, that's waiting on a crank position sensor. It wasn't getting a read on the crank position sensor when I got the bike. It would crank over and run, but it ran sloppily, and it would die, and it would throw code. So, again, I really don't think this guy was riding this thing because it would not have ridden with this problem. So I've ordered the crank position sensor. It'll be here in a couple days. At that point, I'll take compression on the bike and make sure he didn't totally toast the engine, and then I'll decide what to do from there on either we rebuild it or reseal it, or we just kind of go as it is and see if it leaks. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. To my right is the trusty BMW 2002.
Do I look like a mature enthusiast of a BMW 2002?
This thing has been a perpetual project since I got it, gosh, almost 6-7 years ago now. It's been a long time. And it was running and driving. I figured out that I actually put about 50,000 miles on this car. I met my family at church one night, and I drove like the mile or so back from church to the house here. And I didn't realize I left all my coolant on the ground at church because I had no working gauges. Turns out maybe a temperature gauge could be useful sometimes. And so I pulled into the driveway and it was smoking and every gasket was leaking. So we've been rebuilding that slowly but surely over the past couple of years. I had some fantastic work done by my friends down at Metric Mechanic. They did an incredible job on the bottom end and on the top end, so it was up to me then to put the engine back together, put it back in the car, and then I'm doing a bunch of wiring to make sure that next time I have the information in front of me that tells me, hey, your engine's about to blow. Things like oil pressure, coolant temperature, a working speedometer, a working tachometer, perhaps. Yeah, I drove around with no gauges for a very long time. Oh well. Let's see, what's next? Yeah, the table over there contains an engine, or has an engine on it. Anyway, it's from a Volkswagen Rabbit. It's a 1979 Volkswagen Rabbit that I bought in Ashland, Oregon. And I tried to drive it home, and by tried, I mean I didn't make it. Well, it was actually all going pretty well through Oregon and then California. Drove all the way down to the border with Mexico at Calexico, and then back up through Death Valley, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico. And then it kind of stopped. And by kind of, I mean really stopped. And by stopped, I mean the engine blew. So just a smidge of a problem. And I bought a truck to get myself home. I might be a little stubborn when it comes to cars. I don't know. I bought like the cheapest 2500 HD I've ever seen in my life, and it had no rust and like not very many miles. Bought a tow dolly, and then the truck got hit by the tornado. So I guess we've kind of come full circle on that situation. But the Rabbit is still here. The Rabbit pretty much survived the tornado. It got a couple dents and dings, but nothing I wouldn't have done myself over time, I'm sure. And it made a whole lot of incredible memories along the way. That was the trip of a lifetime, and hopefully, well, the plan is to do something just like that trip again, either in the Rabbit or in the BMW or the Corvette or something. But the Rabbit's been coming apart over the past couple years. Right now, I've finally gotten down to taking the crank out of the block, which is the farthest I've ever gotten into an engine in my life, which is pretty exciting. I think this block is going to need to be bored out. I don't suspect that it survived overheating multiple times. I mean, if I think back on that trip, it was multiple times that I overheated the car. I'm talking heat, too. I'm not talking like, oh, I got a little hot. I'm talking boom, heat. Actually, I think I blew all but one radiator hose. And ironically, the one that didn't blow was taped together. So kudos to whoever did that because the tape outlasted all the other hoses. So anyway, I really doubt that block is going to be usable. I've got a spare engine for this car that's complete, so might just go that route, but I don't know. We're about to find out though. And that leads me to something else we're about to find out. So I was just driving along in my 86 Corvette like it was any other day in 1987. Something popped, a fuse or a relay, and I lost all power. I'm talking the engine just shut right off, which is good because, well, it enforced the notion that I needed to pull over right then and deal with what was going on. I smelled something burning, so I immediately pulled right over to the side of the road at the gas station, and I grabbed my fire extinguisher, which I always carry in the passenger seat, threw open the hood, and lo and behold, there are fire that big. There are fire? This is why I haven't made videos yet. There were flames under the hood, and they were literally this tall. So I took the fire extinguisher, you know, shot him, and it went right out.
Okay, first ever car fire. Can we make that the last ever car fire, please? That, oh my God, knock on fiberglass. That's, whew.
If I hadn't had that fire extinguisher, this car would be a puddle because it is made out of fiberglass and plastic, which means if it gets too hot, well, there's nothing left. Also, if you get in an accident, there's nothing left. So don't wreck it. And don't catch it on fire. In their infinite wisdom, Chevy thought you would never have to tow this vehicle ever for any reason. There are no tow points. Anything that you could use to tow the car would interfere with one of the two bumpers and you would end up tearing them up. So I got a soft tow home, I guess if you want to call it that, with a tow strap. My dad towed me home, which is like the 50th time he's done that. And here we are. There's a bug on the camera. But actually the damage wasn't all that bad. I mean, smoke damage was more than anything else. I had to really clean the entire engine bay just to get the soot and smoke to go away. I had to order two parts, the oil pressure sensor and the oil pressure sender. Two different things. I had to pull the distributor, so we had to need to get a new seal there. The distributor cap, which I had just purchased actually. Beyond that, it was really just wiring. Distributor wiring, temperature sensor wiring, and the big one was the injector wiring. A lot of the injector wires got melted. So other than that, really, I mean, it's just been odds and ends stuff here and there, repairing little lengths of wire that got maybe charred a little bit or melted. There were 3 vacuum hoses that were melted, so those had to be replaced. Really not bad considering the thing caught on fire. Like, considering it could be a puddle that I'm talking about here, I think I got away pretty easily. Got really lucky, and I'm going to carry a fire extinguisher in every car that I drive at all times. No excuses from here on out. Well, I actually think that's about it. At least that's all that's here right now. I'm going to try to do this on a regular basis. I've been telling myself I'm going to go back and edit all the videos that I've taken. I think I will at some point, but for right now, I just kind of want to hit the ground running. Get more comfortable in front of the camera. Yeah, so that's it. That's what I'm doing over here. Yeah, all right, cool. See you next time.